Anything other than a Celtic win today would be a surprise, but football is a surprising game. Can Livingston pull off a major shock? Or will it go to form? Will it go to plan? Or the men in hoops? The men in the huddle. Celtic have only won the Scottish Cup once in the last 8 years. They'll be thinking it's high time they got to grips with the famous trophy again. So Livingston and Celtic fight for the right to return here next month to face Dunfermline or Inverness Cally Thistle in the 2004 Scottish Cup final. It's seen as mission impossible for Livingston this, but in football this week, a few mission impossibles have become very possible.
Yeah, they certainly have, and I've got to say, I don't think there's any pressure on Livingston today. There's no real expectation. They're in a no-lose situation in many ways. But I think to have any chance, they've got to get the first goal. If Celtic score first, and very often they do, of course, once Celtic get a goal ahead, once they get a game by the throat, they very rarely let go after that.
Pasquinelli putting himself about straight away, and Stanislav Varga wasn't about to let him get a sniff. Pasquinelli in the side because David Fernandez not playing on loan from Celtic. It would have been another Fernando Morientes style situation. In the end, Livingston didn't even bother to ask whether they could play him, but I think we could probably guess the answer from Martin O'Neill had they done so. Neil Lennon is one of those who has to tread carefully today on a yellow card in this competition. Another one today and they would miss the final or a replay. Valharan in for Jackie McNamara, who should be okay for the second leg of that European tie in Villarreal. Larson. There's Marvin Andrews, who's usually rock solid for Livingston, who have yet to beat Celtic. They were only formed 9 years ago, of course. They've risen rapidly through the leagues, played in Europe, won a cup now, but they have lost their last 10 encounters with Celtic. Davy Hay, beside the former chairman Dominic Keane. Davy won the Scottish Cup with Celtic as a player and as a manager too. He's looking to outwit his former club today. Burton O'Brien, left wing back, with Jamie McAllister suspended. He's a big loss for Livy. Larsson's header, Pearson, now Thompson. Celtic looking for an early breakthrough, but Rubio clears. And here's McNamee, who got a call up to the Scotland squad recently but had to pull out injured.
Yeah, I think it was an interesting point that Charlie made about Celtic's width, and it's important that McNamee and O'Brien try and get up the pitch and don't end up dropping off or being forced back and making up effectively what would be a flat back five. They've got to try and take up as high a starting position as possible.
Celtic are still on course for a League Cup and European treble. And there aren't many clubs in Britain who are. Not now. Derek Lilly amongst those waiting, but it's sent out towards McNamee. Thompson caught by Pasquinelli.
Yeah, I think it's clumsy more than malicious here, but a moment of concern for Martin O'Neill with the big European game coming up. Thompson, I think, out of that one through suspension anyway, but the last thing he would want today is to pick up any more injuries.
Well, he said had it been a league game today, he would have picked a virtual reserve team, but after doing that against Inverness Cally Thistle in the Cup last year and going out, he knew that he couldn't take any such chances today. David Marshall has had quite a month and now making his Hampden debut. It's a foul by Sutton on Marvin Andrews. Pasquinelli took a tumble and has stayed down as he tangled with Valharan. Lennon's header, sent back by Dorado. Lilly. Pasquinelli trying to return it. Oh, and he has done! And what a chance for Lilly early on! And Marshall blocks it, and that could have been a superb start for Livingston.
That's a very decent save. Difficult angle from which to score for Lilly anyway, but David Marshall had his angle spot on, made sure he stayed up. And it's a very important block at this early stage in the match.
Well, they could have done with that, Livingston. Petrov now seeking out Sutton, but Roddy McKenzie comes to play.
There's a good interplay between the front two here. Valharan doesn't tuck in here, doesn't get across as this ball is played. And it has to go down as a very decent chance. Certainly a fine save by this fella.
Here's Varga, who's been outstanding for Celtic this season. Knocked on by Petrov to Sutton. He's had some season too. Here's Sutton. 25 goals, but so much more besides that. Sutton and Alan Thompson have recently committed themselves to Celtic by signing new contracts. Vivalda. Sutton. Petrov losing out to McLaughlin. Here's O'Brien, and it's Didier Gatton who blocked it, and Henrik Larsson who's benefited. Sutton. Snuffed out by Rubio, but here's Pearson. Petrov. It's come through to Henrik Larsson. And Rubio's challenge was enough to put him off, and Lee Makel now to Pasquinelli, who will battle gamely all day.
I did well, and I think it's important, Ian, if Livy are to get up the pitch today, to get out, it's important that anything that is played up to Lilly or Pasquinelli. And Pasquinelli, obviously the one who prefers to drop off, but it's got to stick today to allow them to get out.
Nicknamed the Tank, Fernando Pasquinelli. This is McNamee. He ran into Neil Lennon. And you don't want to do that. A gap. Lennon. Stilian Petrov, who missed the 2001 final. Had a broken leg at the time and watched the victory over Hibs in an Irish bar in Bulgaria. So he'll be thinking his time has come in this competition. It owes him one. Andrews towards Lilly. A decent header that is. And Pasquinelli. And across came Varga.
That's good cover by Varga. Terrific first touch by Pasquinelli that took him in behind. Good reading of the game there by Varga. Well won by Lilly initially. That is a good touch that takes him away from Balda. And Varga provided that little bit of insurance.
McNamee. Makel. Valharan has been pretty much on the fringe of things this season, had a few injuries and has been out of favour. Henrik Larsson always in favour. Valharan under pressure from Lilly, but it is a Celtic throw. Celtic have thumped Livingston 5-1 twice this season in Glasgow. Also beat them 2-0 at Almond Vale. The Cup, of course, is a great leveller, but is it that much of a leveller? The gap. And that's going to bounce off. That's for Harren.
Characteristic miscue from Varga there.
McNamee. Coughlin away to O'Brien, who scored a wonderful winner in that quarter-final replay against Aberdeen. A luscious lob from distance. Varga now taking a very direct route towards Chris Sutton, and Rubio got away with that. It's safely with Mackenzie, but it was close.
That's a delightfully weighted long ball from Varga, but it's a horrible bounce for Rubio here. Just kicks up, it's difficult for him to deal with. Unfortunately enough, Rory Mackenzie was out sweeping.
A gap. Tackle was from McLaughlin, and now Pasquinelli taking over. And a corner for Livingston is made. Fairly encouraging start to this semi-final. Pasquinelli going near post. Marvin Andrews adding a significant aerial threat. Makel takes. It was screened by Pearson. O'Brien's throw. It's it back from his captain Lovell. Lilly with a header down.
I did well to win it, just didn't quite get the angle. Pasquinelli wanted it pulled back a little bit. Still into a decent area, but no runners.
A very creditable return of 17 goals this season for Derek Lilly, including a Scottish Cup hat-trick against Spartans. Makel just showed too much of that to Bobo Balder. Thompson now, and the flag is up. McLaughlin. Varga made it his. Now Petrov. Larson. Petrov has continued running, and Larson has found him with a delightful pass. Sutton waiting in the middle. Petrov gets in there eventually.
It's a typical Petrov running, and you know, Livy are going to have to be aware of Petrov this afternoon. Scott McLaughlin, I think, has been given the job really of principally looking after him, but there have been times, even this early in the match, where none of Livingston's central three have been goal side of him, and I think if you allow Petrov to play between your midfield and your back line, you're inviting trouble on yourself.
Celtic participating in their 65th Scottish Cup semi-final. Livingston in their second. They were here 3 years ago when they lost to Hibs. Thompson is committed as ever. He'll be suspended for the second leg of the European game against Villarreal. And it will be a big loss. New balls. Thompson trying to find Larson. And he'll still be trying to find him here, perhaps. Goes to Sutton. Challenged down by Petrov. Pearson looking. Balder now for Varga. Celtic can try and take another route towards goal. Varga's cross, on by Sutton, and there was a push from Sutton on it.
Yeah, I thought he'd given offside for a moment, but it was for the push in. Sutton does well here just to peel off at the back. Better look here to see whether his hands were up. Well, it's soft, I think. Good knockdown from Chris Sutton. Well above Rubio.
Rubio was particularly looking for the free kick, but he got it. O'Brien now, Pasquinelli, Lee Makel advancing. He's had a fine season for Livingston. Pasquinelli's cross, and David Marshall with a comfortable take.
The encouraging thing is the ball came in, Lilly was there, and McNamee had made up the ground to the back post as well, so there was no lack of support.
Larson, Pearson, and Thompson. Didier again. Neil Lennon for Stilian Petrov. He's got Varga available, and he will use him. It's away by Marvin Andrews. Hooked on by Makel for Pasquinelli. Stephen Pearson steps in though, and now Henrik Larsson decides to have a go. Mackenzie equal to it.
That's a comfortable save. Good interception initially by young Pearson. Larsson had one thing in his mind, just to try and get his foot round this and get it into the bottom right-hand corner.
Procklin for Lilly. This is O'Brien, and this is Makel. Difficult one for McNamee, and Rubio now can glide it back to his keeper. Livingston, the first team from outside of the Old Firm to win a major trophy in Scotland since Hearts lifted the Scottish Cup in 1998. They beat Hibs here in the League Cup final last month. Their story is a remarkable one, but not quite the complete fairy tale. They are in administration at the moment. Larsson, oh, what a cross for Petrov.
That's the danger of Petrov's forward running in. I think Rubio should have stopped the cross coming in anyway. He gives Larsson far too much room here. And as it's played in, it's just slightly behind Stilian Petrov. Otherwise, he might have been able to take a touch, get it out of his feet, and get a better shot away.
Petrov brought to the club by John Barnes, but was never really played in his proper position initially. Here he is again, the captain of Bulgaria. Lennon for Agat. Thompson. Pearson in a decent position, looking to make it happen, and he will settle for the corner off McNamee.
That's good defending by McNamee, determined not to dive in to sell himself there. This is where Livy will find themselves under pressure. No shortage of targets here.
Stilian Petrov takes it. Celtic always threatening in these sort of situations. Petrov swirling it in again. McNamee's header. A gap now. In by Pearson. Varga still in there. And Rubio scooped it up. And Varga. Oh, he sent it in towards Sutton. And Varga again. Went for the driller. Celtic turning up the heat. In by Thompson for Stephen Pearson, who's settled superbly into this Celtic team. Neil Lennon taking that on, and Rubio having to turn it away from Larsson.
Yeah, did well, Larsson blind side of him, but Stanislav Varga enjoying himself as a centre forward here. He stayed up from that corner a couple of minutes ago. It's a good ball in. No choice for Rubio other than to get it behind.
It's another Stilian Petrov corner then, and it's going away from everybody, including the giant that is Bobo Balda. Scored here in the final against Rangers a couple of years ago. Martin O'Neill, when he won the Scottish Cup in 2001, completed the treble in his first season. Only the second manager of Celtic to do that. The other one, of course, the great Jock Stein. David Marshall establishing himself as Celtic's #1 keeper. Not the best of kicks from him there, though. Burton O'Brien with a throw. Now Dorado. Lilly. It trickles through to Marshall. Unlike the English Cup semi-finals, the Scottish ones aren't decided on the day. They do go to replays. Dunfermline and Inverness, Cally Thistle had to try again. Here's Alan Thompson, did want to keep that in, but his cross is a little wild. Didier Gant stumbling over the ball. Dunfermline and Cally Thistle replay at Aberdeen next week, but if this one ends in a draw, the replay would be here at Hampden. Lennon now. Sutton. Agat. And Bobo Balda. Another big man. And Arvin Andrews blocked that. Mulharan. Varga. Straight through to Mackenzie. Andrews got the shout. Andy Mackenzie was #2 at Hearts for the best part of a decade to Gilles Rousset and then Antti Niemi. Varga. Petrov. Quickly closed down. Neil Lennon. Petrov. Varga for Henrik Larsson. Larsson sending it in, and Sutton is in there. Pearson had made a run into the box as well, but it all mattered not. Thompson closing in on Lilly. Rubio for Pasquinelli. Stanislav Varga made his Celtic debut in this competition on a day to forget. A defeat at Inverness County Thistle in the quarter-finals last year. The glass has been dumped.
I think if you're Davy Hay, you're looking for Dorado to go and contest that one. Determined that he wasn't going to be allowed to pick it up comfortably and get turned and get running. And they have pressed the ball pretty well so far.
Thompson. Pearson. Skipping away from Makel. Lennon for Larson. Thompson threading it through. There's no flag, and there's no finish either from Sutton. To corner.
Oh, what a wonderful pass from Alan Thompson. Uses his left foot like a scalpel here. Just cuts Livy wide open. He timed the run to perfection. Andrews doesn't get up in time. Well, he had a lot more time possibly than he realised, Chris Sutton. What a wonderful pass from Alan Thompson. Gets it, head up, sees the run, and the delivery is perfect.
And the corner is a cracker, but it's well defended by Marvin Andrews. Delightful delivery from Thompson though, now a Gat. Balder is still up there. So is Varga, and that could mean problems here for Celtic. Lilly having to hold it up though, and now McNamee. Pearson. He has left Rubio on the ground. Oh, this was a sore one.
It's the first moment of slackness from Livy, and they had comfortable possession down the right-hand side and really put themselves under pressure. Stephen Pearson, again, more than willing to put his foot in.
Oscar Rubio, former Real Madrid player, and also turned out for Deportivo La Coruña as well. Alan Thompson gets it back from Stephen Pearson. Goes past Lilly. Sutton. Larson. Sutton again. Oh, he's been allowed through. And brave goalkeeping from McKenzie.
Well, there's a let off for McNamee and Andrews because it's a bit of the after you Claude here. As it comes in, Celtic try to work the 1-2. But neither McNamee nor Andrews goes to it here. And again, it took Mackenzie's alertness to save the day.
Yet to score in the Scottish Cup in his time at Celtic, Chris Sutton. Maybe today's the day. He's had a couple of sights a goal.
Celtic having most of the ball, but I think Davy Hay would be reasonably pleased that they haven't managed to create a clean chance yet. Best of the lot falling to Lilly early on.
Neil Lennon. Andrews will make sure that goes behind, and Petrov caught him and is quick to offer his apologies.
Oh, it's frustrating here for forwards when defenders try to shield it out like that.
Marvin Andrews has been linked with a possible move to Rangers in the summer. Livingston fell into administration at the start of February. 7 players were sacked and a few more took wage cuts. And yet on they went to lift the League Cup, and here they are now in a Scottish Cup semi-final. Thompson then whips it in, and Varga's header.
I think it's Burton O'Brien. He gets half a yard on here at the back post. Do well to score from that range, but there's a fair bit of pace on it.
Well, it could be a Celtic-Newcastle UEFA Cup final this season. Newcastle players getting ready for a big Premiership test today, though, against Arsenal, and that is coming up after the action here on Sky Sports 1 and St James's Park. No way through for Celtic yet. Livingston giving a reasonable account of themselves here. There's more football this evening on Sky Sports 1, all the way today. Real Madrid against Osasuna. David Beckham in action at 8 o'clock. Lennon forcing it back to Valharen. Stilian Petrov away to Stanislav Varga. Petrov running into bother. Andrews winning it, now Lennon. Varga onto the head of David McNamee. Valharen and Dorado shaking off Sutton.
Did well, took a little bit of a gamble there trying to get in front of Chris Sutton. Could have ended up wrong side, but it's one that paid off. They've looked pretty solid. Struggling at times to keep the ball, but Celtic finding it hard at the moment to break them down.
Valharen. Varga. Petrov. He has a gat over there, and he will utilise him. The rain starts to tumble down at Hampden. Lennon for Thompson. Andrews with a header. And steered on by Derek Lilly. Balder will have this under control, or will he? And he's given Pasquinelli a chance.
Brilliant.
Superb from Pasquinelli, and what a chance for Derek Lilly, and what a vital interception from Stephen Pearson.
Yeah, the ball in just slightly under hit, but it's terrific defending by Stephen Pearson. Pasquinelli does ever so well here, but watch Pearson making up the ground to get to the back post. Terrific defending.
Well, he's been nothing short of a sensation, Stephen Pearson, since joining from Motherwell for a mere £350,000, a steal. This is Emmanuel Dorado, who has a Spanish dad, an Italian mum, and who was brought up in France. Bit of a mixture. returning today after a few games out with a knee injury. Balder for Valharen. Now Thompson on the first time to Sutton. Henrik Larsson is making moves, but he slipped over. A rather inopportune moment. And again, Livingston can't really keep it, and Stanislav Varga showing some urgency now. It's going to gather pace though, and not even a gap will reach it.
I think he has given Celtic a different dimension, this fella though. He's more than comfortable enough with the ball at his feet to step into midfield and make that kind of telling pass.
Well, his former club Sunderland lost their semi-final south of the border. He's hoping that his current club won't follow suit. And they certainly haven't had it all their own way against Livingston. Seen as the minnows in this semi-final. Celtic 31 times winners of this illustrious competition, the same amount as Rangers. And they have the chance to move ahead. Celtic. And Larsson maybe has a chance to open the scoring here. Petrov and Sutton. Chris Sutton scores his first ever Scottish Cup goal, and it gets Martin O'Neill's Celtic going in this semi-final.
Yeah, maybe no surprise that Petrov was involved. We talked about the forward running of Petrov. He's just not picked up. I think it's Scott McLaughlin that he runs off here, and as it comes in, he's under no real pressure. It's a terrific setup for Chris Sutton, and you really wouldn't expect Sutton to miss from that range. Well worked goal, good awareness from Larsson to spot Petrov in the first place, and it's a very decent finish.
But a reserve celebration from Martin O'Neill, by his standards anyway. Sutton's 26th goal of the season has given Celtic the advantage in this second semi-final. The winners of the Dunfermline Inverness Cali Thistle replay awaiting the winners of this one. Chris Sutton, such an important player in this Celtic team, not just because of his ability to score goals, but he offers them so much more as well. Celtic are contemplating a possible change.
I think Alan Thompson might have a problem with his left hamstring there.
Dorado gets a yellow card for that. First booking of the game. And Liam Miller is going to come on for Alan Thompson, who's suspended anyway for that game against Villarreal on Wednesday. Liam Miller will be off to Manchester United at the end of the season, and the fact that he's going there didn't go down too well with Celtic fans, but he still has a part to play for them before he heads off to Old Trafford. Balder clambering over Faskinelli. Larsson pouncing on that. Here is Miller, just on. Petrov, Sutton. Away by Andrews, Trinidad and Tobago international. He'll be playing against Scotland, possibly for his country at the end of May in a friendly in Edinburgh. Sutton flicked it on, Miller, and now Larsson. Lennon. Stilian Petrov. Miller trying to sneak it through to Sutton, but nothing doing. Stuart Lovell towards Pasquinelli, but Stephen Pearson sorting it out.
He's done remarkably well for me, Stephen Pearson. I'm amazed at how well he's adapted. Big step up, no disrespect to Motherwell, but to come into this team, this dressing room, and he's more than holding his own.
Well, Pearson was man of the match in the Scottish Cup semi-final here last season for Motherwell against Rangers. He's back for another taste. O'Brien. Knocked on by Lilly. Once again, Hampden Park, far from a sellout for a Scottish Cup semi-final, just 13,000 here yesterday. They were reckoning on around 25-30 today. To be fair to the Celtic fans, they have had a bit of money to shell out to follow their team lately. And I'm sure there'll be thousands of them in Spain during the week. Miller stepping in, now Larsson, and here's Petrov, just trickled away from him though. Valharan. Miller. He's been out injured for around 3 months, Liam Miller, but he was outstanding earlier in the season, prompting Manchester United to move for him with his contract up. Lilly and Pearson. And a foul on McNamee.
It's a terrific race between the pair. McNamee desperately breaking his neck to support Lilly here. Pearson with the left arm out. And he might feel it was a free kick worth giving away, otherwise Lilly might have been able to play McNamee in.
Well, he's got away with a warning, Stephen Pearson. A decision that doesn't go down too well with the band of Livingston followers who are here. But with a couple of minutes to go to half-time, they have a chance to ask questions of Celtic. It's Makel to float it in, and it's Rubio who's unable to steer it back.
It's a pretty clean header, you know. I really don't see why he doesn't get that back. Well, maybe he's stretching a bit, but I don't think they've done an awful lot wrong, Livy. I think David Hay would be reasonably satisfied with what he's been watching. Maybe would feel that they lost Petrov for the goal, but they had a good chance themselves early on with Derek Lilly, and as we said earlier, you've really got to take them against Celtic. If they do get in front, they'll pass you to death.
Sutton cut out by Andrews. Silverware is never far away from Celtic, but they've only won this competition twice in the last 14 years, which is surprising for a club of their size and stature. Larsson poking it through here, and Pearson nearly. So close to a second, Celtic. difficult to see a way back for Livingston at that gone in just before the break. It's going to be hard enough as it is against a team of Celtic's quality.
Well, it's one you often see go through the goalkeeper's legs, Ian. Once he gets away here, it's Dorado who ends up wrong side here. Pearson gets a shot away early, and McKenzie reacted well.
There's going to be just 1 minute of added on time in this first half, and we're in it now. Here's Didier Agat. Loharan. Loharan. Henrik Larsson. Liam Miller. Seconds remaining in the first half. The second goal is what Celtic are after. Sutton offside, and it's gone away from Larsson anyway.
It's just a great example of the telepathy that exists between this front pairing. Lovely little knockdown from the chest of Sutton. Larsson away just a fraction early.
It's half-time at Hampden. Chris Sutton rounded off. Celtic certainly haven't been at their best, but they do have the lead. That backside belongs to Chris Sutton. Don't ask me how I know that. He's ready to start the second half with Henrik Larsson, and Celtic are 45 minutes away from a place in the Scottish Cup final. They went there in 2001 and beat Hibs. They went there in 2002 and lost to Rangers. Didn't make it last year. Cali Thistle in the way. Who knows? They could meet Cali Thistle in this year's final. Now, wouldn't that be a story? Kenny Clark blows his whistle. Celtic 1 up. But the football hardly flowed for them in the first half. They won't be wanting to extend themselves too much today with that UEFA Cup trip to come to Spain on Wednesday. Pasquinelli in for David Fernandes, unable to face the club that he's on loan from, and fair enough. Mako. Pearson tracking back. Stuart Lovell, the Livingston captain who lifted the League Cup here last month. There are 53 points between these teams in the Scottish Premier League. The gap is a wide one. Can Livingston close it a bit in the Cup? Sutton now. Liam Miller had advanced, but Dorado covering. McNamee. Burton O'Brien, who, along with David McNamee, left St Mirren a few years ago for Blackburn, but they now find themselves back in Scottish football. McLaughlin. Petrov for Lennon. Rubio. Pasquinelli chasing. The foul. And a hit on Valharen.
To be fair to him, he wasn't prepared to give it up here. Certainly had a good tug at Valharen early on there. They've got to have a bit of a go here, and I know it's a difficult one for them because Celtic have so much possession that they do invariably back opposing teams up, but they've got to try and get at Celtic. I mean, 1-0, 5-0, there's no difference. They've got to try and save this.
Varga. Agat. Scored a late equaliser against Hearts last weekend to preserve Celtic's long unbeaten home record. Just as it looked like they were about to lose it, 2-0 down with a couple of minutes to go. You should know better when Celtic are around. Nothing is impossible. Celtic coasting towards the League Championship. Still in the UEFA Cup. Maybe heading for the Scottish Cup final. Liam Miller with an inviting centre, and Sutton, it's off the line. And McNamee.
Yeah, a bit of relief for Roddy McKenzie. Decided to come, was never getting there. I think it was Rubio who won the first ball in from Miller.
Petrov. Sutton. Larson trying to take over. Free kick for Livingston.
Roddy McKenzie made up his mind early, was coming for this, presumably to try and get a fist on it. I think it's Rubio who won the first ball in. Goalkeeper's out the game. And fortunately enough, David McNamee on the line. Just switched to Leon Petrov, now playing left side. I just wonder whether Scott McLaughlin will go with him or whether he'll allow Lee Makel to pick Petrov up.
Oh, the two defenders made a hash of it, and Henrik Larsson doesn't spurn the invitation to score. Livingston let themselves down then, and Celtic are closing in on a place in the final.
Well, the annoying thing for Davy Hay, Ian, I'm sure he said that to his players, you know, if we lose this, let's make sure we don't gift Celtic anything, let's make sure we make them work for anything they get, but it's a shocking error. They don't deal with it, no communication, and it's a typical composed Larsson finish, but I'm afraid the damage on that occasion, totally self-inflicted, and up until now they have made Celtic work to open them up. What a gift.
Comical defending from Livingston. Henrik Larsson has his 35th goal of the season and his 14th in 11 games against Livingston during his time in Scotland. Mind you, he has a similar record against more or less everyone. What will Celtic do without him, Henrik Larsson? One of the easier goals that he scored. Looking to turn provider this time, and he's picked out Petrov. McNamee stood firm, whilst under pressure from Sutton. Celtic gifted a second goal early in the second half. And that will be galling for Livingston, the manner in which they gave the goal away. It's always going to be a big enough task against Celtic without giving them any help. The name of Henrik Larsson being sung around Hampden Park, and no doubt it will be again next month should Celtic secure victory here and proceed to the final. Davy Hayes on the phone to the dugout, a shake of the head from Dominic Keane as well. Horrible goal to concede.
Well, even if they put it in the back row of the standing, at least they've dealt with it here. But neither of the pair of them prepared to deal with it with any real conviction. Henrik Larsson just gambled, probably more in hope than anything else, that it might fall into that area. And he couldn't believe his luck. It's a terrific finish, a typical Larsson finish.
Yes, he's still had a bit to do, but he always does it. Henrik Larsson, Celtic legend. Rubio and Dorado, the two defenders, caught out. Red faces for them. Could be a long second half now for Livingston. The rain really is lashing down. O'Haran. Liam Miller. Miller's throw. Now Stephen Pearson arriving on the scene. Celtic are hungry for more. And it's come through to Henrik Larsson, and now Miller. Pearson, away by Dorado. To the air gap. Celtic merrily spraying the passes around. Livingston are toiling. There's a man on. But, Liam Miller was warned by a few thousand people of Pasquinelli's presence. Pearson. This is just a light shower by Glasgow standards. Pearson. Sutton. It's a corner off Marvin Andrews.
Must have been 20-odd passes as well. Celtic will keep it for fun now.
O'Neill deciding to keep out of the rain. It's Neil Lennon then to take this corner. Petrov was just struggling a bit then, so Lennon takes it. And it's away by McLaughlin, but Livingston had everybody back defending. There's no outlet for them. No relief. Celtic strung 21 passes together just then, prior to that corner. Now slipping it through, Larsson, cheeky.
Good defending by Rubio.
Celtic the dominant force. Here's a gap. Be a few puddles out on the pitch at this rate. Pasquinelli and Sutton getting involved.
I think at 2-0 up, this will be Martin Neal's biggest worry now. But someone picks up an injury with Wednesday in mind.
Livingston making a change, Rubio coming off, and on comes Richard Britton, who was not eligible for the League Cup final here. He played in that competition, earlier in the season whilst on loan at Wraith Rovers, but he gets a taste of the Hampden experience after all. Didier Gap. Celtic not at their best, but they're doing a job here. It's becoming a very one-sided contest as Henrik Larsson goes on the prowl. Marvin Andrews trying to stop him in the corner of Celtics.
That's good defending by Andrews. Larsson trying to get across the front of him here. Good fella's got his left arm out, but does enough.
Petrov gets it back from Pearson. Here is Neil Lennon. Miller came on in the first half for Alan Thompson. Slight hamstring tweak for him. He can't play anyway against Villarreal, suspended. Jackie McNamara left out today also with a slight hamstring problem, but he should be okay. The trip to Spain. What about the rain in Spain? It's certainly bucketing down in Glasgow as we approach the hour mark. And Miller trying to crunch his way through.
Good play by Scott McLaughlin tucking in there. McLaughlin now playing left back. Maybe he's gone 4-4-2 now. With him in midfield.
Henrik Larsson. This is Didier Gap. Petrov. Miller cross for Pearson. Celtic teasing Livingston. And Richard Britton just on makes the challenge. Varga. Andrews stepped out, and here's Lennon. Now Larsson. Petrov. Sutton. Varga. Larsson tried to flick. Celtic heading for their 11th straight victory over Livingston. Only once have the Minnows in this tie avoided defeat against the Glasgow Giants. It was the first time they met them. Henrik Larsson missed a penalty.
You look how deep Livingston's midfield is now, Ian. Front two totally isolated up there, and they can't get out at all. You can see with that just how much Celtic have of this game now.
Don't think I've ever seen a 2% there before. Celtic in the comfort zone, 2-0 up. Larsson. Sutton. Not giving this one up easily, but the free kick has been given against him. And Sutton almost becoming embroiled in another battle.
McNamee's entitled to go and put him under pressure here. Sutton does well to win the first ball. McNamee's doing what you'd expect a defender to do.
Sutton has to be careful not to get too involved. He is on a yellow card. Another one today, and he would miss the final. Or a replay, should Livingston believe that is possible. Here's Didier Gap. Sutton, Larson, Petrov. Here comes Pearson. Petrov steered away by Dorado and then by Burton O'Brien, and now here's Derek Lilly. Bounces away from him though, just as we thought a Livingston attack might be on the card.
That's the problem. I mean, it's not sticking even when it is played up. When they do find the front two, they're not holding up at the moment.
The rain has relented, but Celtic haven't. On by Petrov for Pearson. And towards Sutton, and Petrov advancing. Mackenzie did well, but Larson sets up Sutton. Surely, yes. It's Chris Sutton again. It's 3-0. It's a formality.
How often do you see those players involved? Sutton, Larson and Petrov. It's a terrific forward run again from Petrov. Played the ball out wide. Now he's on his way. Lovely little touch forward there by Sutton. Mackenzie thought he had done enough. Larson digs it out. And well, it's beyond Livy now, you would think. Again, the forward running of Petrov central to it. Could have taken it earlier, decided to go past Marvin Andrews. I wonder if Martin O'Neill will make a couple of changes now with next midweek in mind.
Sutton on a hat-trick now. Celtic haven't really had to extend themselves today, and they won't mind that. The Livingston though, with Derek Lilly trying to offer some resistance, but the tide turns again in Celtic's favour as Sutton feeds Larson. Now Liam Miller is the furthest man forward. Standoff. Sutton taking his tally to 27 of Celtic's third goal. They also got their first in between. Henrik Larsson was gifted with a goal by Livingston. Some dismal defending from them. And it's easy peasy for Celtic. Here's McLaughlin. Stuart Lovell. On by Pasquinelli. O'Brien whipping it in, but Britton couldn't get near it.
That deserved better. Well engineered move by Libby. Couldn't have asked for a better final ball across goal either.
With a change from Livingston. Colin McMenamin is going to come on in place of Pasquinelli. McMenamin, like Richard Britton, was ineligible for the League Cup final here, played in an earlier round whilst on loan at Falkirk. Came from Newcastle United a couple of years ago. Newcastle coming up here later against Arsenal. Stuart Lovell was trying to sneak that through to McMenamin. Celtic now can afford the luxury of maybe resting one or two. They are making changes. But Meneman just on. But he was challenged by Varga, and Marshall able to pick it up.
Well, again they get to the byline. Good ball in from McNamee. Varga does well here to squeeze that front post area.
Well, Chris Sutton has already come off. He's going to be replaced. Sutton just loitering by the touchline, waiting to come off. Craig Beattie and Johan Mjällby waiting to come on. Sutton playing no part at the moment. Celtic will be all right with 10 men, mind you. But they are going to bring on those two subs in a minute. Livingston are stringing some passes together. And Britton trying his best. Might get another chance. Lee Makel, is he going to go for the hit? Trying to pick out Britton, but Stephen Pearson saw that one coming. Chris Sutton's been hanging around here waiting to be subbed, and now he can be. He's on a yellow card, of course, no point in taking any chances. And they've also got that trip to Spain coming up in the week. So Sutton goes off, Craig Beattie's on, and Henrik Larsson is coming off as well. The game is won as far as Martin O'Neill is concerned. The men who've got the goals today replace Beattie on, and so too Mjällby.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be Beattie and Petrov just off him now. That's a sensible change with Celtic looking so comfortable right now.
Johan Mjällby takes the captain's armband from Henrik Larsson. From one Swede to another. Agat, Varga, Beattie looking for his first touch, doesn't get it there though. Balda, Valharan, now Stephen Pearson. Celtic still on course for a possible treble. The title is theirs. With due respect to Dunfermline or Inverness Cali Thistle, you kind of suspect the Scottish Cup will be theirs. The UEFA Cup will prove to be a lot harder, of course. Beattie now, just on as a sub. Pearson. Petrov. Oh, a chance for Livingston to advance with McNamee. Here he is again. Dorado now. Livingston beat Montrose, Spartans and Aberdeen to get this far, but their Scottish Cup run almost certainly coming to an end. It has been a week of miracles in football, a week of comebacks, but that was in the Champions League. This looks very unlikely for Livingston.
Well, they just have been hoping to avoid Celtic in the semi-final now, and it means that the replay between Cali Thistle and Dunfermline is for a place in Europe now. Derek Lilly still putting himself about. Difficult second half. Very little support as Celtic have backed Livy up.
Celtic haven't had it easy in the competition this season. They beat Ross County, although left it later in the third round. then had to go to Hearts, potentially a tricky tie, but they brushed them aside, and then accounted for Rangers at the quarter-final stage, and they are duly disposing of Livingston here. Meneman. Goal kick.
He does well, Pearson, box to box, and you don't play in this Celtic side unless you're prepared to do the defensive shift, and he's taken to it like a duck to water.
Well, Martin O'Neill, John Robertson and Steve Walford, the men behind Celtic's extraordinary success in recent times. Didn't win a trophy last season, of course, but it was one of the most memorable campaigns in the club's history when they reached the UEFA Cup final, losing out to Porto. But they are definitely going to have some silverware to show for their efforts this season. No danger. It's going to be hard against Villarreal on Wednesday night in the second leg of that UEFA Cup quarter-final, but when you've been to the Nou Camp and got a result, nowhere else will hold any fear. Varga for Agat. It's always going to be a difficult day for Livingston, but by gifting Celtic a second goal early in the second half, their chances diminished considerably. Even so, they've had some season. League Cup winners. Still in administration, of course. Neil Lennon coming to meet Balder's header. David Marshall hasn't been tested much today. Varga. Michael. McNamee sends it back to Marvin Andrews. Lennon. Great sliding tackle from Lennon. Didn't get the ball, but it was fun anyway. He loved this, didn't he, Neil Lennon? He kept going and going. Livingston have taken off their captain Stuart Lovell and brought on John Paul McGovern, who was at Celtic. He was also on loan at Sheffield United last season. Not part of Martin O'Neill's plans, though. That's why he decided to try his luck here, but he hasn't really forced his way into the Livingston team on a regular basis, and is talking of maybe leaving at the end of the season. Valharan now. Oh, and a mistake by Bobo Balder, and David Marshall couldn't do much about that, and McMenamin very close to scoring for Livingston.
Yeah, just a bit of complacency there by Bobo Balder. Wanted a bit too much time in this. McMenamin prepared to close him down, and I thought that was net bound when he hit it. Couldn't have been far wide.
Nearly, but not quite for Livingston. David McNamee, who presumably will get his chance again for Scotland at the end of this month against Denmark, had to pull out of the Romania squad through injury. The first Livingston player ever to be called up by the national side. Here's McNamee, who's nicknamed Van Gogh by his teammates because he had a bit of his ear bitten off in a Glasgow nightclub. McGovern's cross, McMenamin's header, and they have got one back. Well, he was denied a moment ago, but not that time, and it's 3-1.
I think the irony is they've managed to hit the byline pretty regularly since they've gone 2-3 behind. Had they done this in the early part of the match, they might still be in it. It's a wonderful header. David Marshall may be expecting that to be put towards his front post, but it goes right across him, and it's not savable. Free header that won't please Martin O'Neill, but he made it count all right.
Well, it may be the week of comebacks in football, but there's still so much that Livingston have to do. Craig Beattie chasing this. Dorado is with him. Corner kick. Craig Beattie, just 20 years of age. Coming up after the action here, we've got Newcastle against Arsenal at St James's Park. A massive match from the Premiership, right here on Sky Sports 1. Pearson's corner. And Balder struggling with that one. Ten minutes to go in this Scottish Cup semi-final. It's a poor kick from Roddy McKenzie. Livingston got the draw that nobody wanted at this stage of the competition, or at any stage come to that. Celtic, it doesn't give you much of a chance to progress. Mind you, if Livingston could sneak a second goal, you never know. On by McMenamin. And Balder having to deal with this. Gap put under pressure.
What an impact Colin McMenamin's made here. I imagine Davey will be wishing he'd started with him now. Looks well up for this.
Varga moving past Lilly and finding Stilian Petrov. Now Liam Miller, and here's Pearson. Beattie. Petrov. Lennon sold a gap short. Burton O'Brien now. McLaughlin for McMenamin, but across comes Valhara. A late rally from Livingston. Lee Makel. Michael again. The tackle was from Neil Lennon. McLaughlin. Here is McNamee, now McGovern. McNamee again. McGovern again. Oh, he's got it in towards Lilly and McMenamin. Livingston giving it a right old go. McLaughlin's cross. Britton.
And they've had some terrific width in the second half here. Again, it's a wonderful ball in from McGovern. I think Lilly was trying to score. Almost fell for McMenamin.
And Bobo Balder stumbled then. McGovern. The substitutes really have given Livingston fresh impetus and some hope, albeit just a glimmer. A glimmer at the moment anyway, but that could change. As Richard Britton has a go.
I think on the surface it's well worth a try. Johan Mjällby eventually decided to step out to try and press him here, but he had more than enough time to set himself. Best spell on the match for Davy Hayes' side.
Maybe this spell has come too late, but here's McLaughlin, and he's got McMenamin with him. O'Brien. Mjällby stuck a leg out. Lennon for Miller. And now Pearson. There's the Manchester United bound Miller. O'Haran for Varga. Agat. Beatty and Dorado close together, but it's just a throw. Neil Lennon. Varga slipped as he sent that in. O'Haran. Petrov. Celtic close to reaching their 51st Scottish Cup final. McLaughlin. And Didier Agat gets the free kick. Celtic's 3 goals today mean that they've scored 132 this season in all competitions. Goals are never far away when Celtic are in town. Livingston's late surge not causing too many concerns for the would-be champions of Scotland and the would-be Scottish Cup winners. Unless the Bowman or Canny Thistle could do something about it, Livingston haven't really been able to today. Stopping Celtic has proved to be mission impossible for little Livy. Pearson. Good man of the match today, David?
Well, I think Stilian Petrov's had a good afternoon, and you know, it's a lovely little triangle to have Petrov, Larsson and Sutton, and for me Sutton clearly with the first and third goals has made the most telling contribution, not for the first time. I know he does a terrific job for Celtic in midfield, but he's even more productive for me when he's up front with Henrik Larsson. He's my 10th man of the match.
Sutton and Larsson taken off after they'd scored the goals. Here's McMenamin again, who's looked really lively. But Balda has sidestepped him. Andrews. McLaughlin lost his footing, and here's Didier Gat. He could put Beattie in here. He's decided to advance further, and that allowed Dorado to make the challenge.
I think Beattie entitled to be well displeased there. He's got 2 against 1. He's held himself to stay onside, and Didier Gat really should have played him in.
Here is Beattie. It's a corner. 20 years of age, released by Rangers as a kid. Trying to make a name for himself at Celtic, and might have grabbed a goal at Hampden had the gap slipped him in. The gap now for Miller. Neil Lennon. Three minutes of added on time. 3-1 to Celtic.
3 minutes
The outcome of this game has never really been in doubt, although for long periods of the first half Livingston were dealing with Celtic, but Celtic not really 100% today.
Yeah, I think Celtic have been flat. I think Charlie mentioned that at half-time. Second goal was a killer, and all the more galling for Davy Hay, and that it was an unforced error. After that, no way back for Livy, but they finished the game well. The heads are up. I think the substitutions have freshened them up. It was always going to be a tall order for them.
Davy Hay won't be reacquainting himself with the Scottish Cup. He won it twice as a Celtic player, and he won it once as a manager in 1985 when somebody fluked a free kick apparently in that game. Varga. And Mjällby has roamed forward. Here's a gap, who always roams forward. Johan Mjällby's in a centre-forward role at the moment, fancies a goal. Pearson. Just a minute of added on time remaining. Celtic seeing this out. It has been easy for them really. They're getting away from that. But they won't mind that with a testing trip to Spain to come on Wednesday, the second leg of that UEFA Cup tie against Villarreal. Nobody said it's going to be easy. Celtic do tend to rise to the big occasion. Miller now, and Neil Lennon wants to be put in here. Can't quite get there, but Beattie has. Beattie keeping it in the corner, and Livingston get the throw, but there's not much time left to talk. It's all over. Well, the big games keep on coming for Martin O'Neill, and the big wins keep on coming. 2 goals from Chris Sutton, 1 from Henrik Larsson. Celtic cruising through to the 2004 Scottish Cup final, where they will play Dunfermline or Cally Thistle. And in truth, this was a stroll in the park, a stroll in Hampden Park. 3-1 to Celtic.
Well, a great choice of live action for you now. Here on Sky Sports 1 next, it's Premier